Hi chefs. More and more people are going to have to stay at home and figure out things to do with their family and friends. And rather than just sit around and binge watch television, there's some tasty and amazing things that you can do in your own kitchen that are good for you, are healthy, and will be efficient and keeping your food, not only during quarantine, but in the future, excellent. So what I recommend, a lot of people are doing a lot of cleaning or sanitizing. We want to be healthy, but a lot of people think just about using chemicals or natural products and keeping surfaces clean. But it's really important to also go through your spice cabinet. That's right. A lot of people don't think about it, but there are two reasons that you want to go through your spice cabinet. First of all, if you let them sit around for too long, their taste is going to go down. So you don't want to do that. You don't want something really old and you don't want to waste your space and have cobwebs and just gross stuff growing around. So you want to constantly move your inventory. So if you notice when when you buy a spice on there is, just like traditional food, there is an expiration date. So you want to pay attention to that, because I actually take all my spices and I want them to be pretty, and I label them myself. So I put them in these specific jars. I happen to get from IKEA, but you can get them from anywhere. You can get them from dollar stores and that sort of thing around the world. But I will admit, I'm really good at labeling them, but I'm not good. Confession. I'm not good at telling people or writing on there the expiration date. So I also buy bulk spices. For example, I just bought some of these. This is my favorite vanilla salt. I just got it in February of 2020, and it's going to be good for a year. So I recommend, if you are going to be like me and a little neurotic about decanting your spices, that you not only write the name of the spice. This is my unique togarashi sashimi, or more traditional things like cumin. I recommend that you take a Sharpie or a labeling thing. My label writer is actually at work and I can't get to it right now, but you can just take a Sharpie and write on the back of it, a permanent marker, or you can put it on a piece of tape and put it on the back and write the date that you filled that bottle or that canister. That way you know how long it's been in there. So it's not going to, as we say, go off and be spoiled. So at best it's going to be just flavorless, but at worst, heaven forbid, it makes you sick and it actually does spoil, because typically these dry spices do last about a year, but you want to make sure you check on the back, because manufacturers always will tell you what they recommend. So especially when you're using things that are like nut-based flours. I know in our cheese course we make a Parmesan sprinkle, and I always recommend keeping things like that when you have nuts. It's really good to keep them in the refrigerator or in the freezer. So I encourage you to go through all your spices. I have some over there, I have some here, and go through them. Read when you got them, maybe think about where you got them. I'll tell you, for me, it's a little bit of a trip down memory lane, because I'm kind of a weirdo. But when I go traveling, instead of buying clothes or trinkets, I buy spices. So this one reminds me of my friend Mary in Louisiana, and so this is a special spice. I just got this in December, so this goes back on the shelf. This is good. Chef Jessica here at Vegan Gastronomy got this for me, and I gotta look. I'm not sure when she got this for me. I think I have to get my glasses and look a little bit after I do the video. But this is going on maybe about a year, so I'm gonna keep it for right now. But some of these I know need to go. One recommendation I often say is every time you change your clock, so when we spring forward and fall back, so kind of twice a year, it's a good thing to go through your spice cabinet. That's a good recommendation. But now if you're in quarantine and you're like us, we're on day 2, and I know Morgan in Italy is on day 6, and some of you in the US, you're not in full lockdown yet, but maybe you will be. So this is something that's really productive you can do during your quarantine period. You can even have the children come in with you. This can be a real educational experience for you. You can, for example, learn about the history of spices. A lot of people don't know that allspice is a spice. They think it's like a blend, but it's not. Allspice are actually, they look like almost look like peppercorns, but it actually is a spice. It has a very unique flavor profile. It's almost like cinnamon and a little peppery, and it's oftentimes used in like pumpkin pie, kind of fall type of dishes. So you can make it a learning experience. Use Google, get on the internet, and learn about the spices you have in your kitchen. Throw away those old ones that are out of date. Throw away the ones that don't taste good. Make this a culinary adventure and an educational one, because I know a lot of you have kids that are home and they might be getting bored and not know what to do. So get them helping. You know what? They want to help. They do. You can have them help Mark. And actually, I know kids love to grind and make noise. So, for example, with this allspice that I have, you don't typically use them whole, you grind them. So if you want, you can actually, I know kids love, like I said, love to make noise. Have the kids stick them in. I use a little, this is a coffee mill, but you can get an actual spice grinder if you have it. And let the kids get in there and crush it and make noise, and then have them label it. And you can use them maybe tonight for dinner. See you soon. We'll be back with lots of other videos for what you can do during your quarantine period and keeping yourself and your families safe and happy during these unique times. And remember, we have lots of online classes. We'll be having more videos. We look forward to seeing you in the vegan kitchen. Bye.